experience at all when it comes to air power, national security, warfare, or joint operations. So you have to first forgive me for that. The next part of the assignment is to talk about the course, the SOS courses, and what you've learned, what you've been informed, where you have had your aha moment. And I actually really like General LeMay Levels of War. And I know that's like, what? And I really like reading General LeMay's statements. I have found him to be very informative, but very hilarious. I have a lot of post-its on my desk from things that he has said over the years as he was preparing or putting together SAC. So the 3 levels of war is strategic, operational, tactical. So strategic, we know, is to impair the adversary. Operational level is decision making, and then we have the tactical level, which is how are we going to go and destroy the enemy? Is it going to be through air, space, cyber, or boots on the ground? So in doing this part of the assignment, I was like, okay, I've learned all these 3 elements. What do other generals think about these elements? So the first person I looked up was what did General Grant think about the art of war? What was his strategic plan? He said the art of war is simple enough. Find out where your enemy is, get at him as soon as you can and as hard as you can, and keep moving. Well, what did Patton say about the art of war? What was his strategic plan? What is his overall 3 elements of strategic, operational, and tactical? So Patton basically said, make the other poor bastard die for his country. The enemy is attempting to do the same for us. Is that tactical? Is that strategic? Okay. So then I look forward in history and say, what was the strategic, operational, and tactical plan for Eisenhower? And Eisenhower was like, when we're going through France, we just keep moving, kill the enemy, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. So Jomlowski wrote, Eisenhower, like most commanders, do not have a strategic or operational plan. This is my what? Because most generals can barely describe operations beyond the first tactical operation. That was very informative because that had never crossed my mind at all. So how does that work? How did they delineate what do we do, how do we do it, and when do we do it? And I think that was I needed to do a little bit more research. So learning how General LeMay went about his tactical plan kind of put all of these pieces together for me. So that was really great for me, and I enjoyed reading and analyzing General LeMay's Levels of War and how he put together different aspects of this Air Force, which we still now use. So that was pretty great, pretty cool. The next question we've been asked to answer is critical issues in air power. Well, my first thought was the critical issue in air power is really going to be space, because that's where I am, and I like space, and I really, really love space. But then I had to go back in history to understand a little bit more about air power. How do we get here, and where are we going? So it's a no doubt, we can't argue that air power took a quantum leap during Desert Storm, and that's basically what historians have said. Air power has taken a quantum leap during Desert Storm in 1991, and there's no there's no denying it. There's absolutely no denying it. And as we move forward, air power is basically going to solidify the military even further, even more. So I continue to do some more research about Desert Storm and trying to look at where we're moving as an Air Force. Everything is called command. I'm no longer joint space, I'm now combined space. So combined means that all of the different military service members are part of it, because Army has a space unit. People just don't know about that. Trust me, it's at Fort Meade. Navy has a space unit, but we just don't call it that. A majority of space, or a majority of cybersecurity or national security is affiliated with the Air Force, in my opinion. It's connected. So if we're all connected, why is there a disconnect? And one of the things that I found in reading a lot of articles, when you're looking at critical issues in air power, like I said, there's no denying that United States air power is awesome, beyond imaginable. We can't compare it to any other country or any other, yeah, let's just say country. We can't compare it to any other country. But what I find that it's going to be a critical issue in air power is one statement that was made by Benjamin Lubinsky, and what he said was, airmen and soldiers have a powerful need for mutual respect. And because of their powerful need for mutual respect, they have to understand their mutual dependence on each other. So I can honestly answer the question and say, air power is critical. Space is going to be, we're working on so many things that's classified and unclassified, but let's just say that according to the space mission force that we're presenting, or the world we're presenting to the world, we're going to be beyond awesome. But in order for us to be beyond awesome or beyond great, the critical area that we all have to make sure that we understand is everyone has a role. And I think airmen and soldiers have to recognize that they have to respect each other and as we move forward in preparing to fight the enemy. I think right now it's like, oh, I'm Air Force, no, I'm Army, I'm Navy, and we go through that rah-rah, I'm better than you, you're better than me, you're boots on the ground, I stay in a nice